What is going on, boys, and welcome back to another video. So guys, a massively requested video on the channel is how much did my turbo build on my MX-5 cost. So yeah, what we're going to be doing today, guys, is we're going to be going for a drive and talking about how much the turbo build cost and actually kind of adding everything up, because to be honest, I don't actually know how much it cost. I've written everything down, which I bought, and kept receipts for everything, but the cost is still unknown in my head. So yeah, boys, let's hop in the MX-5. Currently we're in the garage because it's an absolute racket outside, so let's hop in here. And before we go, let's flip the camera and look at what I have got. So boys, in here we have got a ridiculous amount of MX-5 parts. They're absolutely everywhere, but yeah, they're all kind of organised, half clean, and that's because I'm selling those for the new project. So yeah, that's awesome. But let's close up the garage and hop in this absolute weapon. We're going to talk about how much it costs, boys, because that's the most important thing, isn't it? How much it actually set me back. So guys, before we go into how much the build actually cost, I'm going to give you a second to guess exactly what you think. My personal guess, it's a toughie, I'm going to go 2,700 quid, including the map, everything, getting it on the road, 2 lots of oil, everything like that, because I did fucked up a couple of times. So all in, everything, new tools I bought, I reckon 2,700 quid. Give you guys a second to guess, and then yeah, we will crack on getting to what I bought and how much it cost, boys. So boys, starting with the most expensive part, as you can see, I've got my checklist of all the things I bought and I've got the prices I paid next to them, is the manifold and downpipe kit from Black Cat Motorsport, which cost me £1,129, and that came with the manifold, the downpipe, the ECU, which is an ME221 ECU from Motorsport Electronics, which I'd highly recommend. I've got a complete install guide on how to install that if you guys are interested. That's on my channel. But it came with all of that and a little fitting kit with some of the adapters for the TD04 turbo. So that was £1,129. Really pleased on that purchase on the whole. I mean, it's held up perfectly so far. I know 3,000 miles is nothing for a turbo manifold. It could have cracked by then though, quite easily, with the honing I've done. I've heard of loads of manifolds which have cracked within that time frame. So yeah, holding up well. Was the best price which I could find. Initially I was going to go for the Flying Miata manifold and downpipe kit for the Garrett T25 turbo. But what put me off was the import tax, and I found this deal with the ECU and it worked out cheaper than just getting that if I didn't even factor in import tax. So yeah, highly recommend those guys at Black Cat Motorsport. Fantastic service, it really helped me out throughout the installation if there was any little niggles which I had. So I guess the next main part is the turbo. So I went for a TDO turbo, that cost me £135 on eBay. That was an eBay special TD04 turbo, and yeah, no issues at all, 3,000 miles like I said. No shaft play, boosting perfectly, spools up really nicely, about 2,500–3,000 RPM, so no complaints whatsoever, and it's running 256 at the fly, so spot on with that. Not going to replace that ever, because when I do build the engine I am going to go for a Garrett turbo or a Borg Warner, and depending on what I go for, I'm going to have to change manifold, downpipe, stuff like that anyway. So if that breaks, I'll go for another eBay special. 3k for 135 quid is spot on, boys. So yeah, that's the next thing. We've got intercooler and intercooler piping. So intercooler was £54.99, so we bang that into my trusty calculator which I've got here, and piping was £64.99, which was actually more expensive than the intercooler itself. What else have we got? Our clutch, so that's £155. I'm running an XTD Stage 4 competition clutch. It's a 6-puck clutch, which does take some getting used to as a daily driver. Once you've got used to it, it's perfectly fine. Can be slightly juddery in reverse, but I mean, it's a 6-puck, it's a competition clutch, what are you going to expect? Not bad at all. I mean, the first week or so did take some getting used to, but now I'm used to it. Again, spot on, really good, great value for money compared to other alternatives. So in terms of the fueling system, what I am running is the pretty much standard for most turbo MX-5s, RX8 yellow injectors, which are 450cc. And I've got some refurb ones which cost me £87.99, which, yeah, that's the injectors. We've got another category which is halfway up the list, which must have been little bits I bought at the beginning, which is £33.78. My AFR gauge, so AEM gauge, was £158.99, and that came with the new wideband lambda sensor. but expensive for a gauge. Well, if you think that's expensive, you better wait for the next one, boys. So next one, the boost gauge and boost controller, £250. Bloody hell. But trust me when I say this, it works a treat. Scramble boost setting, it's got the whole lot. Stops you from over boosting. Highly recommend for the ultimate safety of your engine. 250 quid over swapping an engine all the time. Would highly recommend, definitely. AEM, best gauges on the market by a margin. Okay, now what's next on the list? So we've got the map. The map cost me £300, but there was £60 VAT. So it's 360, and then £20 on top of that for a new IAT sensor, which they put in. Intercooler fitting kit was £9.95. Got that on eBay. Spark plugs, got my NG case, £8.50. Oil return stuff, so for the tap and everything like that to tap into the oil pan, cost me £15. Ignition leads were £26.45. That's the Jackson Racing ignition coils. And guys, also I'm not forgetting to put on things like grease and the thread locker. So we had some all-purpose grease for £2.99. Oh, plus 2.99. Plus £4.85 for some thread locker. So just all the little bits are included in this, guys, so you've got the full picture. I'm not forgetting the oil cooler. So oil cooler and oil filter relocation cost me £80.25. Oil filter, so the K&N filter was £14.35. Some hole saws cost me £8.99. So that was to fit the gauges. And then we've got an other of £86, which it won't let me add in. But I think that's everything, boys. I mean, there may have been a couple of miscellaneous other things, but that's what the £86 covers. So plus 86 is. So, boys, we've got our final figure, and I am, not going to reveal it right now, but final guess is what you boys think it's going to be. What did I say? 2,700. So let's convert this from a fraction to a decimal. Your boy is a legend. Look at that. Camera's not picking it up, is it? There we go. £2,707 and 7p. So £7 and 7p off, boys. That is how much it costs to turbo my MX-5 using pretty much completely brand new parts. Let me think. Apart from my radiator, I don't think my radiator's included in that. The radiator is not included in that, so we're going to add another, how much did I pay for that? £84 for a second-hand radiator. That's everything, isn't it now? Yeah. Alright, boys, so the actual revised one is £2,792 and 7p. So yeah, still pretty close, but that's how much it costs to complete the turbo MX-5. Still more bits which you could add on to that. I haven't got a coolant reroute yet, and there's some other extras, which, like the oil cooler fan, which I haven't included in the next. You don't need that, and all switches, that sort of thing, because they're just novelty extras, really, just to make it cooler. But yeah, boys, that is the final figure. How much it costs to turbo my MX-5. So guys, that's how much it costs to turbo the MX-5, give or take the 7 or 8 quid or whatever it was. £2,800, which is expensive. You buy a car for that, and that on top of the MX-5, what's that cost? 2,800 plus 3.5. Pretty much paid £6,500 for MX-5 low mileage with banging a turbo on there as well, which is expensive, and that doesn't include any of the other modifications and supporting modifications which I've done to get it to drive nicely at that power level, and it doesn't include many of the supporting modifications which I do need as well. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't change it for the world. Definitely one of the best £3 I've ever spent in my life, for sure, to turbo this. So yeah, but definitely highly recommended. I just really wanted to make this video to give you guys a picture of what it costs, because you do get quotes absolutely everywhere, but you don't get a quote from a first-hand perspective of someone who's done it not using a kit, buying all the things themselves, trying to go for the best quality stuff, and which takes into account all of the extra little fittings and tools that you probably don't have, which you wouldn't need for many other things than doing this sort of build, like something to clock your turbo and all that sort of thing. And that little fucking Priuses, mate, you get a hybrid car, you can't even fucking drive it. Oh, sorry mate, it almost pulled out of me. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say on the topic, and where I'm probably going to end the video, because just do it, boys, it's definitely worth it. And like I said, just wanted to be like the first real thing on YouTube which gives you a pretty bulletproof figure on what it's going to cost. And don't get me wrong, you can turbo your MX-5 for £1,500 easily. I did look at that option, but then I thought, why do it for that when I can have another 70 horsepower if I pay the extra 700-800 quid, and I actually have some quality parts. 9 out of 10 of the parts which I have are all branded, reputable products, so that speaks for itself, speaks hundreds, and the reliability speaks hundreds from that as well. So yeah guys, that's been basically my journey and what I've spent in turboing the MX-5. But yeah guys, like I said, I'm going to end it there. Massive thanks for you guys for watching. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and found this useful, even if you're not turboing your MX-5, even if you're doing a build on another car. It does, I guess, help to put into perspective the additional costs which you do come up against, which you don't necessarily plan for. But yeah, massive thanks for watching. Subscribe down below if you're new here or if you enjoyed the video, and do not forget to turn on that notification bell to be automatically updated whenever the latest exhaustive video comes out. And yeah, until the next one, boys, adios.